Hello, everybody. It is August 1st, 2019. We have with us, I'm Chris, Mr. Chris, if you're nasty. To my right, Pinky.
Hello, hello, hello.
To my other right, Joel.
There's another right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's you.
Right. You're in
To my extreme right.
I was going to say, it's far right.
How many rights are there?
We have...
Pinky is actually to your left.
Negative.
Are you a moron?
Ghost Rider.
This
left-
is my left.
Left is the one that makes the L.
Okay, I'm not a moron.
Well,
but
hello,
I am-
audience.
That was a little extreme.
Well, how can you-
that was extreme.
That wasn't
I am
nice,
a little
Chris.
dyslexic, so yeah. I'm sorry if I sometimes
apologize.
don't get left and right.
I was
Yeah.
actually projecting.
Mm-hmm. You were projecting.
Yes.
You were projecting
I was
your anger
projecting.
on me. Thank you.
Yes, my
so
anger
much.
at my own moronicness. Yeah,
It's not.
it's
Okay.
true. Anyway, hello, welcome to our show,
Mhm.
Texas Tea.
The Texas
The
Tea
Texas
is back
tea
in.
is back in the house. Just to because a couple of people have asked, so I guess I'm gonna have to throw it out here.
Ooh, there's an elephant in the room.
Oh, I think they're just. Oh well, audience, if you can hear that, I think they're
Someone
just
put
nailing.
on Growler that
They're
there's a
banging.
cup dumper over here, and they're banging on the door.
Oh, okay. I don't know which one of us in this room is going to be that when
Not
we get here.
guilty.
Not it. Not it.
I didn't know we were going to start so soon.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had a few more minutes.
I
figured
know. I would need to go in and prepare.
I'm
I
ready.
had to get out my little bulb and
Right.
prepare. You know that bulb is like $40.
Wait, what?
It's also kind of not the best way to do it.
You know, it's actually
What?
not.
You're
Germany.
sure?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I thought
Germany.
we had a whole series.
Actually, the material that they use actually
Antimicrobial.
it doesn't. It's germ resistant. So it's actually a pretty good. It's a pretty good product.
Well, I'm just
I'm not going
like,
to mention the name of the product.
if
but
there's-
they're not paying us
because
but,
they are not a sponsor.
You know, exactly. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good product.
Can
the
you
butt
give
bulb.
us the first letter
I don't
and the
remember
last letter, maybe?
I don't remember. I know.
Is this
I
chain
know it
reaction?
when I see
Get
it.
out of here.
You could probably get it on Amazon.
Right.
Can you whisper it in my ear?
No, I'm
He
not
could
gonna whisper
text it
I
to you.
don't
Lord have
remember.
mercy.
I have to look it up. I have to look it up because the last person I was with had
Can you just show it to me?
the last person. No, what?
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
Y'all,
No,
he wants to see his
I
butt
don't.
bulb.
I know, right? No, I don't have it with me.
There are things a lady
Here's
does
what
not
Here's
show
what I know,
other
and
ladies.
I will say this out loud. Here's what I know. The last person that I had over, which was not too long ago, had one of these, and he was clean as a whistle. That's all I have to say. He was clean as a whistle.
Is that who I saw leaving?
And
Ran out of here.
I did not know this, and this is why I love professional bottoms. He actually pre-lubed before he came over, and I'm like, "You can do that?"
Oh,
Yeah.
how does that work? You
Lube
just
shooter.
jam lube up there?
No, you use a loop shooter.
Oh.
It's like a little. Not that I've ever done that before.
It doesn't matter.
But it's like a syringe.
It's fine.
But it's got like a kind of like a
Okay, we
super
need to start
round
getting some
nipple
endorsement
on it.
deals because
I
we should
know.
start endorsing this shit.
I
right?
know, because I'm like, that's that. He's like, yeah, I'm already lubed and I'm ready to go, and I'm like,
Holy shit.
holy,
I don't trust that though because to me that reads like you. Okay, so who else is in there? Where did you just come from?
Right.
oh no, this guy is he is. It's condoms only or nothing. So yeah, so
Well, but
I appreciate
just the fact that
by
he's
the way.
lubed anyway. Like
Yeah,
pre-lube is a cover for like I just left somebody else's house. I'm just trying to see how many kills I
I
can
don't
bag
care. I
today.
mean, it's not like we're in a relationship or anything. The sex was good. I slept for 10 hours. It was great. So there
Right.
we go. So I didn't care if he had been done by the
Oh,
whole.
no, I'm not throwing shade at him, girl.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Everything was pleasant.
I had a revolving door.
And like I said, I slept like a baby.
Yep, there you go.
Which, by the way, I never do. It was one of the few times that I've ever had a full-on orgasm with another person. Usually I have to finish myself off later.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I usually have to finish myself off later because I can go for
Oh, it takes
a while. Yeah, it takes a while. So I can go for a while. and I.
Is that like a mental thing? Do you outthink yourself, or it's just your...
Hashtag humble brag.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just
why it's a humble brag.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what happened. So it's like the first person I've ever actually. He made sure that was the number one. He made sure that I got what I needed to get because he got what he got without. He didn't even touch himself. That was. I haven't seen that in a while.
Did he get what he got, and then he waited for you to get what you needed to get?
Yeah.
Or did he wait to get what he got until you got what you got?
No, he got what he got, and then he made sure I got what I got, and he helped me along with making sure I got what I got. Mm-hmm.
Well, and that probably helped too because
usually after I got what I got, I'm like, okay, this is kind of freaking me out now.
Like you're sticky and sweaty. Can you get off me now?
Mm-hmm. So that's what happened.
I suddenly had a change of mind.
It's like, oh, would you look at the time? I just remembered. I have to let my aunt's cat out.
So it's been it was quite enjoyable. I enjoyed it, but I like the fact that he was super prepared,
right? And hands free. That's always an ego boost.
Yeah, hands free. Super prepared.
Brian in Dallas. He used to be able to do that.
Should we be mentioning people's names?
There's a lot of Brians in Dallas, right?
I hope so.
I know, because I didn't. There's more than one Brian,
but there's only
on
one
that list
Zim
for me.
in Dallas. Zim in Dallas. Now there's a name. Takes me back. The good old days. Zim, if you're there, call me baby.
That's so funny.
We didn't end on good terms, but I think we'll be okay now.
One last grudge fuck to really close that chapter.
Yeah.
The final line in that play that you're writing about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I know this is going to sound weird, but I'm going to send a little... It's not really a shout-out. It's more on the lines of Michael Lucius was someone I knew a long time ago who was the worst person on the planet.
Did you just name somebody?
Yes, I did, because he is probably and now dead. So...
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, no, don't do that. He was the most terrible person on the planet. But
really? Worse than Hitler?
Oh, I wouldn't say that he killed a lot of Jews, no. But I would say that he was a terrible person, but I loved him. I did love him for a little bit, and at the end, I was able to forgive him because that's what he needed so that he could move on.
And die.
So,
why was he so terrible?
In your house and he finally saw the light.
He literally manipulated every person that came into his life. He stole money. He ruined quite a few people. He was that type of person. And at the end, he really did try to be a good person. At the end.
Right, once he saw karma catching up with him.
And
maybe he has some issues he had to deal with.
I love that you have a...
At the expense of other people, that's not how you...
Have you not seen Stranger Things Season 2?
Oh my god. I love
Mad Max's brother is a fucking jackass, and you realize he's a jackass because he's abused by his father? I mean, come on.
But, there are some people who are just plain terrible. Why can't we just admit that? There are some people that are just...
I don't know.
They're bad eggs.
All of us have grown up with some kind of heart... I mean, not all of us... All of us have grown up with some kind of hardship in their life, so, that doesn't...
It doesn't entitle you to tread on others.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time,
you have less of an excuse because you know what it felt like, and so you inflicted that on somebody else, which makes it worse because you knew what it felt like to do it. In my opinion. In my humble opinion.
I agree.
So it's like, it was what it was, and like I said, there will always be a special place in my heart because there was certain moments where he was a good person. There were certain moments,
right?
Not a lot of moments, but there were certain moments, and
every time he was balls deep.
Can you imagine? This is a guy that used to walk into a room and he got 9 phone numbers as soon as he walked in the room. He literally, we could not go anywhere. He stayed in my apartment. I lived in an apartment for 6 months. He came to my house, stayed with me for 3 days before I had notes from the neighbors asking if he could come over. That's the time. Yeah.
See, but it's guys like him that the reason that people don't trust guys like me, because I'm just as charismatic, but I'm also not vindictive or
are you as charismatic?
Cruel.
I mean,
have you ever seen? You've never been out with me.
No, well, no, actually, I haven't.
He's pretty over the top.
I can imagine.
I am mad charming.
I'm. You know what? I'm gonna have to find.
I don't know
out.
if charming is the word I'd use, but
what word would you use?
You're mad. Something.
I'm like a.
He's a cartoon character for sure.
What cartoon character would you describe him as?
Pink Panther.
I don't know.
Really, you went straight to Pink Panther?
That's where Pinky comes from, is Pink Panther.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. I think that's kind of cool. You kind of went. You knew exactly which cartoon character.
Yeah.
That's
because he's just enough, and he's got he's totally he's got the flaws that are right there on his sleeve. He owns them, but it doesn't stop him from being like the cool cat, quite literally.
Right.
And it's like I just there's like a magnetism. I find the people who are you want to know at the bar, the owners, the managers, the people you want to rub elbows with, kind of naturally. And you end up having a much better time.
Right.
I have to admit that's probably how you got on this show.
Yeah. No, I mean
that's probably
because talking about my bar experience and all that stuff is where I get all that experience from is being a hot mess in my 20s. Having a revolving door on my bedroom.
Who didn't? No, I didn't. I just started opening.
Having a revolving door.
My revolving door just started.
I did 5 in one day once.
I did 3. That was my high point.
I mean, I had a threesome with a couple of Russians. That was awesome.
I had a foursome.
Really?
Yeah. Really? They weren't Russian.
Oh my God, the Russians were amazing.
Really?
And they were
Russians
so
are kind
gentle.
of hot.
And they were so gentle.
Really?
It was all about my needs.
Did
and
they
I'm
speak
like,
Russian?
I'm sure they weren't Swedish. They sounded more Swedish.
Yeah, I heard a few words of Russian while the act was going on. So, we kind of flipped all around.
Right, yeah.
So, I was in the middle at one point, and then one of them was in the middle of there was one was blonde and one was a brunette. And the brunette really liked me at the bottom. So, it was a
4-person?
No, his
orgy?
No, I was.
Me?
No, mine was just 3.
It's just 4. A threesome. Okay, because I was like, wait a second. Oh, and they're Russian, so Ultra doesn't make sense.
And it almost happened again at a party that my cousin, that Marcus and I got invited to.
Oh yeah,
because we were karaoke one night. He wanted to sing some Whitney Houston song, and the 2 of the guys had just gotten married before marriage was legal, and they invited us to come back to their reception at their house.
Oh, that's
and they wanted Marcus to sing, and I'm like, "You go ahead." And I was in the kitchen getting something, and I got sandwiched between 2 guys. I didn't know what was going on. He was
getting 2 somethings.
I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that things were getting a little heated. There was a little flirting at first, and then the husband came in, and
so the groom and the groom.
No, it wasn't the groom and the groom. It was another couple, and the other guys came in, and I just really went in there for cake. I really just went in for cake.
And
I just wanted some cake.
He wanted some cake, and he got some cakes.
And I almost ended up being a sandwich. So, there we go.
Nothing but
cakes. Did you get the cake?
No, I did get the cake. And I also got oh my God, those 2 guys tried to hit on me. That was awesome, because that was the first time that had ever happened. The Russian guys came later, but that was the first time that had ever happened to me.
Nice.
I had heard that existed, but I didn't know. You have to understand something.
You heard that threesomes existed?
I never see them. I always wondered if people really did that, because you see it on porn all the time.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I wondered if real people really did that.
Right, or if it actually, one thing ever really just leads to another.
So it was kind of interesting. In my 20s, I was not the most confident person. I was not the most secure person.
Sure of yourself, right?
I was very unsure of myself and everything else, and I hadn't been out of the closet that long.
As many gays are.
And I was having a very rough time because I spent a lot of time worrying about my looks and how skinny I was, or how fat I was, or how this I was. I was a lot of time in my head.
Right. It's the same like supermodel complex that females have, as far as straight and this image that they have to keep up in order to be desirable. I mean, gay guys have that same expectation of them even still today.
Yeah, exactly.
That unmeetable standard.
Right.
So when that happened to me, that was the thrill of my night. That was the thrill of the night.
And so they just hit on you, or like they were making out and like grabbing your butt?
No, one guy, I was like I said, I was getting cake, and the guy was leaning against the refrigerator, and he goes, "Hey, you're cute." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you. I just came to get some cake." And then another guy comes in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's real cute. We should like hook up with him." And I'm like, "What is going on?
Yeah.
What the hell?" And then they both started kissing me, and I'm like, "What is going on?"
So a 3-person kiss is super interesting.
It was, because it went back and forth, and I'm like, and they kept going, "Oh my God, you have the most amazing lips ever." And I'm like, "Thank you." That's all people ever say. But
When they say DSL people, they're not talking about the internet.
Super insecure at the time. Now it's like, yeah, I know. I know, baby. Let's do this. But
right, as he rubs his lower thigh over his jeans. I know, baby.
So, yeah. Two different Joel. I mean, and I love the fact that as I've gotten older, I find that that when it comes to how I feel about myself and everything else has gotten a lot better.
Well, and you kind of learn to understand, like, everyone feels that way. I don't give a
shit.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit if you like me or not. I honestly don't. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, we're going to do just fine. We're going to do just fine.
People ask me, oh my God, you don't look, that age you are. A number I'm not going to mention.
You've mentioned your age on here before.
I have never.
Yes, you have.
No, I said I was going to be 27 again.
The youngest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys are 2 feet in the grave. I'm trying to keep that first one from going in.
You'll probably get there before we will.
I'm like McFly trying to keep the picture from getting erased. But no, I mean, as you get older, you find that like everyone has those exact same securities about themselves. And you stop giving a fuck about it. Like, that's why retirees, we talked about that on earlier episodes, like, they stop giving a fuck. Like, they don't have to worry about impressing their bosses or doing what anyone else tells them to do. So retirees are the happiest people on the effing planet because they don't have anything else to do but, like, figure out if they are taking the Afghan out on the porch tonight to rock or not.
I don't know. Is that, but, honestly, I think when it comes to the sexes, I think women still do give a little bit of a shit about it even when they get older than men. Yeah. I think when men get older, they're like, fuck it. I'm going to wear my pants up to my shoulders, and I'm going to wear sandals with socks, and I'm going to do this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Which, by the way, I'm also wearing sandals with socks, but I'm wearing jeans, so I felt like it was inappropriate.
In society, it's okay for men to do that, but it's not really society-wise. It's not. Society looks down on women who sort of.
Well, right, because there's that whole first lady culture, where like your lady is the representation of what kind of life you provided for her. Yeah. So she takes, and it's pride that she has in you as her man to keep up this image because it makes you look good. To have provided such a life that she, is able and so well preserved, I guess, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, because like when I see older couples out and the lady's like fabulously dressed and her makeup is perfect, her hair is perfect, and then she comes in here with this sloppy bum, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh, this is my husband. This is.
But some of that is who has the power in that relationship.
This is what I get.
Who
I mean, some of that is like,
whoever brings the money in that relationship is the one who can probably let themselves go to pot.
Yeah, or I'd like to feel like that
one of them is a prostitute. Depending on age,
like that if you're age differential. In that type of relationship, I'm like, look, I'm sorry. It took me an hour and a half to get ready, and you took 5 minutes to put on a pair of pants and a shirt, and you ready to go.
Right,
No,
and
you
you're
go
wearing-
back in there and you go take a shower,
And
and you go get yourself presentable. You
Right.
are not doing that.
I've always made sure that, like, I make sure that, like, as much as any of my partners, you know, or boyfriends would do for me, they do for themselves, as far as, like, taking care of themselves and, like, I don't know, like, maintenance, like, indulgences. Like, I would have them indulge themselves before they indulge me at that level.
What do you mean?
So, like, before I get fancy clothes, I want to make sure that they are providing the same comfort for themselves and don't feel like they have to do that, because I get that pretty boy thing. So, like, guys feel like they have to, like, maintain a certain, like, whatever, like, I want anything from them, which is super irritating, guys, just saying.
Hashtag Pinky is hot. We get it.
Like 7.5, calm down.
Okay, all right. I'm like a 9, so I'm good. I'm good.
I was talking out of 10, not inches.
Okay. All right.
Joel.
Well,
Jeez, everything's a size
thank you
contest.
for that. Thank you for that. I was talking about looks, but not the penis. But I'm doing well in that department, so thank you for that too.
Right? Andy can go the distance, apparently.
And-
Hashtag humble bragging.
But like I said, I do sleep for a long time, so
Apparently.
don't expect the second time.
It's an hour show.
I hadn't. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I had been on a Netflix binge for the last
What have you been watching?
2 days. Oh, I've been watching a lot of anime.
I
haven't really been
finished
watching.
Sword Art Online.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've just now gotten to the season 2 with the guns. I haven't watched any of it.
Is that season 2 or is that a different
It's season
show?
two.
That's a different show.
That's a different show.
That's a different show.
No, it's the same show.
No, it's the same show, but it's
It's
a
Sword
different.
Art Online 2.
Yeah, there's Sword Art Online,
I don't know, it played in...
and then there's Sword Art
Succession
Online
to Sword Art.
2 with the same 2
So
characters.
Sword Art Online has multiple seasons, and then Sword Art Online 2 has multiple seasons.
Oh, so is
And
season
Sword Art
2
Online
just
2
all Elif?
Yes.
Elhim?
Whatever it is.
Like Alfheim or whatever?
The first
German.
one's just in that one.
Is this the now? This is the one where it ended with. Oh wait, did you see the ending?
Of season 2?
Yes. I don't.
Well, I
wanna
know
spoil
what's
it.
her face gets out.
Okay. Well,
Osaka, or is
Yeah.
it Osaka?
Yeah. So yeah. Well, then I won't spoil it because I don't want to spoil it.
No,
I haven't seen them all.
yeah.
I've
But-
seen them all.
Yeah.
My best friend at the time, Thomas, introduced me to all of this, and I fell in love. I'm like, oh my god, this
Joel,
is so
were you
wonderful.
about to say my ex-best friend?
I was about to say my ex-best friend because we haven't spoken to each other in a while. And that's mostly my fault because, well, I'm not going to get into that. But,
Right.
but I admit that it was my fault.
I find the best friend thing as grown-ups, like, entertaining. Like the notion, like, that
Why
you
is
have
that
a best
entertaining?
friend.
Why?
Because when you're in, like, grade school, having a best friend is, like, it means something. It's like
I feel like, it
title.
means something now.
You know,
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm kind of a lone wolf. I don't have a pack.
Well,
So, like, I guess the best friend, like, I had a best friend in grade school, and he's the only person that I would ever classify as my best friend, and really give that title to, because I feel like if you can only have one best friend. You can't say one of my best friends. Because the best is
I got you. Best.
it's
means
pinnacle,
just
it's first
one.
place.
Right.
You can't give away 3 first place, spots.
yeah, but I don't, I think I have 2 best friends. And I don't want to put one above the other. Although
But isn't it insulting to both of them?
One is slightly above the other because the other one
Well,
has
then,
some
so you
issues.
have one best friend. Then.
But
You just
Because you
But I
literally
care-
just did it on the air.
But I care. But I love them both like brothers.
Right, so
Or
just
sisters.
say-
in our
Exactly.
case, sisters. So they're both my sisters.
I have
So-
2 friends whom I consider to be family, to be considered my sisters. Is different and more adult to me than
See, this is
and
why-
transcends best friend, because best friend is like a thing that we apply to, like, it's a fake thing. It doesn't exist. You don't have a best friend. It's like a thing you invent in your mind to have, like, a whoopee as far as a person is concerned.
I think the best thing about being gay is that we can have best friends that are men. I feel like heterosexuals have a hard time having best friends. I think
Of the opposite
Yeah.
sex.
no of the same sex.
Really? I don't think so.
I feel like they sometimes do. I feel like that sometimes. I mean, I can tell my best friend I love them and be like,
I think
hey,
it'd be
I love
totally
you,
the
blah,
opposite.
Blah, 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 blah. Whereas with them, it's a little harder. I think it's getting better with.
Well, there's a
especially with the
macho,
younger-
right? They don't
with
get
the
to
younger
express the
generation,
actual
men are
love they
starting
have for
to-
each other, right?
Yeah, men are starting to like open up and be a little bit.
That's a
more
maturity
emotional,
thing, right?
That kind of thing, which I love because I. But this is the one thing I've always loved about being a gay man is the fact that I can be emotional. I can be dramatic. I can be all the things that men are told not to be.
Right,
Even
exactly.
though men are dramatic anyway.
Or quote unquote,
yeah.
not
Mm-hmm.
masculine.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I. So when I have relationships with other men, especially my sisters, who I love more than
Right.
anything else. I mean, I can say that they're my sisters. We can be intense
And I love
intimate
that.
and all that other stuff, and really just be there for each other. So it's really cool.
I agree with that. It's just like
So
the best
they're
friend
like
thing.
your family.
Yeah.
I hear people talk about like, oh, one of my best friends. And it's just the most annoying concept to me because it's like, what grade are we in?
Mm-hmm.
What? Like your best friends? Like, wait, are you talking about the same 10 best friends that you were
some of
talking
it
about
is like
an hour ago? Or like,
some of it's like a political thing. Like you can't, like you have very close friends. You can't. Some of your close friends don't want to know that you have a best friend. Like you have to be
sneaky?
be sneaky about it. Yeah.
Oh.
So you just
Or you
ascribe-
just say like, this is my gay family.
But why even rank any of them? Why can't you
Exactly. That's my point.
just- but by saying my best
It's juvenile.
friend, it means okay, my better friend. I have a better friend. Why don't we say
Ew,
that?
that's rude.
Mm-hmm.
It's juvenile. That's what I'm saying. It's unnecessary. It's something that we used as kids.
Why is it juvenile?
Yeah. Why?
Having
Because
an
even,
issue with it is juvenile.
I don't think so. I
I'm
think
basically saying my best friend. It's a colloquialism for saying this person means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
right
I don't understand why it's a big deal.
because it's nonsensical.
It's not.
That's all. You
it
can't have
doesn't
multiple best
literally
friends.
It doesn't literally mean this is the pinnacle. This person is in a group of my very favorite friends.
Right? No, I
grouped them
agree.
together.
It's like my favorite color is red,
Mhm.
but it's actually black.
I don't you think you're being a little bit too analytical about this? Because I
How can
really
your
do.
favorite color be red and it's black?
Thank you.
What?
How can your best friend be one person if your best friend is another person?
Oh, whoops! We have to think about that. No, we don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
have
think
to
about
spend
it.
10 more minutes.
I'm not going to
discussing
spend 10
this.
minutes.
Let's
10
not.
minutes. I feel like that from an emotional level, yes.
We know
you
that
can have
Pinky-
as many best friends as you want. If that's who you are, that's who you are.
Right.
I don't see anything wrong with it, but to pick one over the other usually depends. If I grew up with if me and two people grew up, me and two other people making a threesome, which we're not going to get back into again.
Wait,
But if we all grew up together and went to school, college,
Mhm.
got married, did all that stuff, and how do I pick which? Why
you
would
are
I want
wrong.
to pick
You're wrong.
which
Why?
one is better
You
than
have
the
a
other?
group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this group is my group of best friends. When I say you are one of my best friends, it means you're in this group of my best friends. This group is the best, they're just better than that group. So it's not describing just that person is the best, it's you're in a group of best.
Mhm.
You're in the best group.
I can understand that.
Mhm.
I guess I didn't think about that way, like as it being like a grouping
Right?
Mhm.
of people. It's just like, it's just funny to hear people say it and then they talk about like it again and then it again, and it's like they're not the same group of people. I guess
It's just
cherry
a term.
picked. I know
I think we're making a big deal about it.
Do you get like this with
everything.
You sound like you have a, what is it called?
Have we not done enough episodes where we haven't figured that out?
Anal retentive
No.
fixation,
No. Never mind.
stigma.
No.
Mm.
I'm not going to say it because you might get mad at me.
Well, say it anyway.
No.
As he kermits his banana,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not gonna say anything, but
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what the term for it is.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Are we stopping?
No, we're not stopping yet. But I wanted to say that for those of you out in the audience, if you are having any thoughts about Chris, just put it out here. Like right now, he can't eat a whole banana, so he's not going to take care of you. So there we go.
What?
He can eat the whole banana. It just takes. You can only take a little bit of it at a time.
Yeah, just a little bit at a time. So if you have
the
Do you
tiniest
know how
little.
many bananas I eat a day?
we're still talking about bananas, right?
Shouldn't that make that one much easier to eat?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I had those fucking nasty ass beaver nuggets, and then I had some of that shit.
Gummy bears.
gummy bears are fat free.
How
and
dare you
fucking
talk
good.
Yes,
about
but
Camp Gummy Bear.
they get in your stomach.
How dare you?
It's the banana is not getting in your stomach.
Anyway, I'm out of taste.
We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna be right back. I think we have to do commercials or something, but we'll be right back.
Are there those things?
But you would know, Mr. Producer.
Yes, I would.
Those things.
And
Beep beep beep. We're backing in.
I want to correct myself from the last segment. Pinky was very charming when we went out last time. He was all dressed up in a nice suit, and he brought flowers for his boyfriend, but also the guest that he was trying to get on the show. So
well,
he was very charming when he went out.
that's why I kind of like him as the face out there in the streets. Kind of, to drum up some business for the show because, he knows how to represent.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
knows. I mean, we went to the theater together, and he.
Oh, that's right. We did go to the theater.
we went to see that play, which was amazing, but very confusing. But it was amazing because
The
it was
one
so
with the
confusing.
flamingos?
Yes, lots and lots
It was
and
funny.
lots of flamingos.
On the ride home, we got to talking about it, and he's like, "You got all that from?"
Well, I mean, it
Because
was
I broke it down to how it
interpretive.
related to me. And he's
It was
like,
very interpretive, so everybody took away something
Right.
that was a little bit different, and I had my take on it. And I like when I actually like the fact that I had to think about it. I like things that make me think.
Me
Oh,
too.
for sure, of course.
I live by the saying:
Yeah.
if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly. Because I love.
That's
yeah. I
Saying
love
not
learning.
made famous by me, but
Now, if you're like a physicist or something, you are officially the smartest person in the room, and I will be giving you a blowjob. But the thing is that
I got an A in physics, college level at physics at UT. And you know who else went there, Mr.
yeah.
What's his face?
What's his? Can you say his name? Neil Tyson DeGrasse.
The black physicist.
Yes, Neil Tyson DeGrasse is his name. And yes, I would have. Done him.
is he the one that does Star Talks? His podcast,
I think
like
so.
Astronet or Astro Talks or something.
I think
They just
so.
had Adam Savage on not too long ago to talk about his book. Adam Savage, for those out there who are not familiar with him as an individual, is one of the co-hosts of MythBusters.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Adam Savage. Wait, I might be
Is that
thinking
the
of.
same Adam Savage as who has the column, the sex column?
No. That's what I was
That's
thinking.
Savage
That's who I
Love.
thought you
Savage
were.
Love. Oh my god, I
Is that-
love
that's a
Savage
different
Love.
Savage
That's a different Savage.
Where do you read that? Here in Houston.
on the internet.
On the internet.
Oh, okay. We used to get it in the Metro Times,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to read it actually in print. It used to be my favorite thing to read. I love
Yeah, he's
Savage
based in
Love.
Seattle,
Yeah,
so that's a different Savage.
That's a different Savage.
different Savage.
He's gay,
I think.
actually. And he's an introvert.
And he has a wonderful husband, and I think they have kids.
Oh,
I think they have kids. I think they have 2 kids. I think.
I'd call him Daddy.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're kind of obsessed with them.
I'm not
you know all his
obsessed.
stuff.
I spend a lot of time on the internet. I'm not obsessed. But sometimes my brain hurts after a while because I'm like, I spend too much time on the internet.
See, I always
You're like,
get
I've been
stuck on-
stalking this person for 15 hours straight.
Well, I always get stuck on the. I love reading comments for some reason, but they're also mind numbing. That I don't get a whole lot of information per reading.
You know
because-
what my favorite thing to do on the internet is when I go to the Facebook pages, when you click on the little videos and then they have a stream of videos underneath it, I'll just sit there and watch all the videos. I think it's just the
I
coolest
usually
thing.
don't watch video. I like to read because watching videos takes so much time.
Well, I mean, I've fallen in love with College Humor and Smush.
Oh my
and
god.
Oh, have
Oh,
you seen
yeah.
the Millennial Interview? You must have seen the Millennial Interview.
I think I saw the Millennial
That one's
Interview.
so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But
I gotta
yeah,
go with Chris on this one though. That's why I love
Dork
Nifty.
Lee, all
That's
those
why you love
things.
Nifty.
What's Nifty?
Nifty.org.
Oh, that one I don't know. Wow.
Do I know
Oh.
it?
What? Or maybe I do, and I probably
It is like
don't remember.
the Encyclopedia Britannica of internet erotica.
Why would
I
why
want
did
to
you
know
say I
that
gotta
one.
go with Chris?
Because you say you prefer to read because watching video takes too long.
Oh,
Mhm.
So I read it.
Well, not when it comes to porn though.
I like to read.
I have a very
I love erotica.
acute
Gay erotica is amazing.
I have a very acute imagination. My ability to visualize is marvelous.
I used to, but the
And
internet
better.
destroyed it.
The internet destroys a lot of things, honey.
Yeah.
We just have to learn to live with it.
Okay, so,
Well, because the internet is for one thing.
Porn.
Porn.
Oh, and violence. A little bit of violence.
Violence,
Everybody
yeah.
likes a little violence every now and then.
A bum fight peppered in here and there is never a bad
in
thing.
comedy.
As long as you're paying them.
5-second comedy.
Well, I can get a lot of comedy from porn sometimes because sometimes they can just be so hilarious.
See,
Right?
I don't like watching porn. Actually, I don't technically watch porn.
Who technically watches porn?
We
We talked about this.
we
already.
touched on this.
I don't watch porn. It freaks me out actually. Like if I see like a ball and a dick going into an ass, it'll like turn me
I
off.
don't
A ball and a dick?
You know what? I have to admit, I don't
I mean-
like close-ups at all.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
need to see that. I like it more when I see the action from.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no, I gotta see the
but I don't want to
close-up.
see the going in, and
I'm all about the
why would I wanna see
POV.
this?
You're all really.
POV.
What do you mean? Like you're at someone's point of view?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's filmed from like point of view. Or like
So actually
underneath.
people do that.
There is, and those aren't bad. I mean,
I love the close-ups though.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I'm all
close-ups
about
are
just
amazing.
like
I know.
watching the choo-choo in the tunnel. Like
No, I don't like to see the
I
choo-choo
love
in
it.
the tunnel, but I do like the expressions on the faces, though. It can be weirdly comical. But actually, who really does watch porn? I mean, 5 minutes of it and I'm done. So
right, I always fast forward.
That's all I need. I mean, I just need 5 minutes and
But I
I'm
keep
good
like
to go.
I love that the iPad has split screen because I can have Safari open and Google Chrome
Mhm.
and like
What? Yeah.
chase down like and watch multiple videos at the same time, like
Oh wow.
and then catch the recent one or the relatable or related ones
Mhm.
underneath this one. If I'm doing like two different kinds of things, two different flavors, like
Can you not have just two windows of the same browser?
well, not on the iPad you can't,
Oh,
but then you got to click tabs. You can't look at both.
Hmm.
When you do like
right.
when you do that, it's you get
Hey, we should have a porn watching techniques segment
right,
on the iPad.
right, or like how to delete your cookies.
Mhm.
No, that is really important.
Fucking defragging your hard drive because there's
Some
evidence
people do
everywhere.
Not, yeah.
Well, here's something I want to bring up since we're on this subject. And I was reading this, and I was like, you know what? I've had those days. Have you ever had those days where? And I've read this. There was a woman who was talking about masturbation, how she likes to get into the mood, how she likes to like get some candles together, and have some music, soft music playing in the background, and all that kind of stuff.
I may or may not put on a body nylon and a.
So as men, is it just? Do we just whack off and go, or do we like to have those moments where we can just, have some me time?
Oh, I have
So to
special
speak.
pants that I put on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you?
I don't even want to see what those look like nowadays.
Can they walk by themselves? Is
Like,
that-
oh, are you a painter? No.
what is all of that on your?
You do
pants?
I have those special pants. Turn off the lights. Go.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's
For
about
me,
as-
it's like I definitely like. I don't know. Every now and again, I definitely take a shower.
take a shower first.
Yeah, I just like the feeling of like the coolness because I work outside,
Mhm.
and so
Right.
like
Oh, I
cooling
get
off
that.
in that
Mhm.
and being sweaty and whatnot. But then I'll slip into like a body nylon, and I've got a multitude of mini skirts that I may or may not spend
Wait,
a little
you'll
time
put a mini
photo
skirt on
shooting.
and jack off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, or like underwear, like something like that.
We should turn that into a meme. That's good.
Mostly because right, like make me want to put on my
Yes.
micro mini and
that could be marketing.
wank
right
my
there.
peen.
That could be. But I will say this. I mean, I like to when I have those moments where I just want to spend. Sometimes I spend moments in bed where I'm reading stuff on the internet. I'm doing all this other stuff, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling I'm a little horny. So let's just move on to a porno real quick. Watch porno, and I might do it several times,
Split screen.
depending on
Exactly.
how long I'm like reading articles or what have you. I'll go through a point where I'm like, okay, I'm horny again. Let's do this again.
Yeah.
and then I'll do it, and then I'm feeling good, and then I go back to doing what I'm doing, or I might catch a quick nap.
Right. I'm all about the nut and zonk, like, wake up. Like, oh, I got morning wood again. Guess I gotta take care of it. Nothing like some morning wood in the afternoon.
Well, there's two slightly older men in the room. Have you had any issues with morning wood for you, Chris?
I mean, I don't have morning wood every morning.
Sometimes I end up taking more of the sheet with me off the bed than I'd like.
I've never had morning wood every morning.
You know what? I've
never had issues with whatever it's called.
Yeah. I used to have morning, well, not every day. I mean, not literally every day, but now that I'm a little older, I know that morning wood still happens, but not as often. And I'm actually kind of glad it doesn't happen. I know that's weird.
I think because you placate that part of yourself, you're actually satisfying it more regularly than like before when you have like a regular stimuli in bed with you.
Yeah.
I probably don't get it as much, but when I do get it, I'm like, oh, thank God.
I know, I do the same. I'm like, yes, it still works. Yay, I'm going to have a fabulous day.
Right. It's like, whew, last night was just a fluke.
Although and like I said, being older, when I do have a partner over, I don't know. It suddenly got into my head, like I said, the internet can be sometimes destroying.
Oh, yeah,
when
absolutely.
you read all the articles about lack of erections.
Right.
And you see all these ads for all this stuff and everything else. And I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, these videos are men who are way too young to be...
Right.
And I appreciate the fact that maybe there are some younger men. But for the most part, these products were really made for seniors.
Right. Well, it's
to make seniors feel okay.
No, it's to make young men feel like the first time that they don't catch a boner, that they need a reoccurring prescription and get them
hooked
into Big Farm
as soon as possible.
So you make somebody that...
I would be kind of terrified to take something like that, quite honestly.
I would too, especially when you think about like how your body builds up. I
mean, if you're not getting an erection, there might be a reason you're not.
Yeah, 90% of the time it's psychological.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
And then if you have like heart
or
issues or what have you, that could be also a factor.
Right.
But the thing
it's
is,
your body looking out for itself.
But it's natural when a man gets older that you don't have them as often, but you still can get it when you need to get it.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's a fertility thing.
Yeah.
You match your counterpart as far as species goes, and like you have no more need. You're not spreading the seed anymore. You've made your litter, so to speak. You've sown as many seeds as are viable.
Kind of like a menopause for men.
Exactly.
But without all the other stuff that goes with it. Menopause.
Right.
Oh, wow. Ladies, I'm sorry.
Right?
Mm-hmm. But no. But, the fact of the matter is that, I mean, as 51-year-old man, yes, sometimes I do worry. And I feel like that's silly because, like I said, you see all these ads for all this stuff, and I'm like, but these guys are not that old. So are you really pushing this drug on people who really don't need it?
Yeah, of course they are.
I mean, if you explain yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Might even,
and I think it really causes a lot more
psychological issues.
Yeah, psychological issues.
So people start thinking, am I going to have a problem?
Am I going to have a problem? When the moment that I turned 40, I went, oh my God, I'm going to have a problem.
Like the second you don't get hard at the instant, like you used to when you were 26, you start thinking of that commercial is playing in your head. You're like, oh fuck, I should have called.
Mm-hmm. And I have been in sexual situations where it didn't, because I was freaking out at the beginning. And I'm like, oh my God, what if I don't get an erection?
Right, because
what's going to happen? And then I don't get an erection, and then I'm looking at my partner like,
but the only time
next time?
The only time I haven't gotten an erection is when I really just wasn't into it.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I've been super into it and like overthinking, like, am I enough? Am I, what's been here before? Am I going to stack up? All kinds of things. Like, any of you like really care about them and all of those things, psychological things. Like, where do I want this to go? Am I doing this too fast? Have we reached this point too soon? Like, have I dead ended this? If I go through with this, is the sex going to be the end of it? Are we just going to be like a once off? And like we just saw how I have a tendency to overthink things.
I think everybody in this room has a tendency to overthink things. I mean, I'm thinking about my performance in the middle of Am I doing the right thing? Is he
right? And then all of a sudden you're like
happy,
soft
blah, 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 blah.
because you're like
You're not into
stealing
it.
bandwidth from your brain, like sending neurological messages to pump blood into your penis.
Exactly.
And
Because you're thinking too hard about it.
exactly, you're stealing. I think bandwidth is a good way to.
You're stealing that thunder, so to speak.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
exactly. So I think that, like I said, for a lot of men who are a lot older, and you start seeing all these commercials, and then you get all these, and then you can't even watch porn without some little ad popping up about getting either your penis bigger or making it harder to last longer.
Right.
And I'm like, are you serious?
Can you walk into
Right
a gas
now?
station and not see like white rhino or black rhino?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like and Stacker and all these other pills like behind the counter. There's like 30 of them.
You know what I
on
hate
this
though the
rack.
most is when you're on like a porn site like Pornhub, and suddenly like it starts showing you tits, and you're like, "Fuck!" No.
I know exactly.
The fucking live chat window.
I'm in the
it's
gay
like, God
part.
damn it.
Why am I looking at tits?
Yeah, on Pornhub, if you go, you could be on the gay section, then you want to click on like my favorites, and when you go to my favorites, it starts showing.
It resets the toggle.
It. Yeah.
That's why I always log in.
Wait, you have a login account?
I
just
do.
don't-
That's how you save your favorites.
What? Really? No.
I mean, I don't
do all
save
of that.
favorites. I
don't
save
really-
them on my browser window. Like
Oh.
I can guarantee you that's XTube right there.
Honestly, this
Raw,
is the
super
most
fat, interracial tag team.
porn-heavy episode we have ever had.
Has it really?
It has really been a very well. The first part of the episode was about the definition of best friends. Which I'm
Right.
like, are we seriously doing this right now? And now we're in the second half where it has become very porn-heavy.
Right?
And well, I mean, I enjoyed the talk about masturbation though. That was fun.
I think that sometimes though, like for me at least, because I think I kind of set myself up to like not enjoy sex. It kind of like it's anticlimactic because of how well I know my own combination, so to speak.
Right.
That like it's like, oh god, I have to do all this first.
Right.
Or like, I don't know, the setup is different, like your mindset is different. You get used to watching like certain things or reading about certain topics, and like your brain like
No, I think
automatically
you get so
associates those
used-
things with a boner.
Right.
They're like stuff you're attracted to in actual life, or things that are real and plausible situations, and less fantastical like most porn.
Ooh, sorry.
You get into a real situation, it just seems so mundane and boring that you're
Right.
like,
And you can also become so used to pleasuring yourself that when someone else comes along, like you're so used to just
right. It's just like,
doing it
but
your way that you can't really.
it's the only way you do it.
But
Yeah.
you have to. I feel like you have to break that though. I mean, I've been pleasuring myself for a long time, and I've had many opportunities to like go forth and do it, and then I'm like, no, because what if I can't perform and blah 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 blah.
See, I don't have that
So,
self-control.
and
Like,
then-
I'll go 9 times a day.
Then I'm like, fuck it. I'm somebody's gonna get fucked, and I'm doing it today. And when I finally and everything worked out, and when I finally decided to do it, and I'm like, wow, I really made more about this than I should have.
right? Well,
I could have been doing this a long time ago.
I think part of that for me was like when I was in those situations, like I was in a relationship, so it was either me get me off or cheat, and like me getting me off was the only viable option to me, even though my ex was cheating on me, and so that's where the absence was for me. Like I wasn't getting it because he was getting it everywhere else, so I was getting it on my own.
I like
And I
to
got
say
so
I
used to
hope
that.
I wasn't involved in that getting it because I've been with quite a few guys, so I'm just saying that if I hope my picture never shows up. That's all I say.
Is your name on that list?
No, I hope my name is. I mean, I'm sure there's a Joel. If there is a Joel on that list, it's probably not me.
Oh shit!
But it's unlike. But
I don't think
it's
he's really your
likely
type,
It
'cause
could be.
My exes aren't really your type.
No, not really. But sometimes
Joe doesn't really have a type.
6'1",
I don't really
450.
have a type. No, I take that back. I love. We just literally talked about this. Everything I've literally said has led to the fact that intelligence is the most important thing to me.
See, you'd be able to.
It's the sexiest thing to me.
You'd be able to see
I
right
literally
through
just
this
said I would
person.
suck off a scientist right across the table. So yes, intelligence is the biggest thing for me.
I agree.
It's the biggest turn.
Before we went to break, we talked about
Yeah.
the individual that I was talking about.
I'm just biting into my banana. Okay.
He's kermiting his banana like Like,
And looking at me, and I'm
he's
like, what
doing
the
it
hell?
just like the Kermit the Frog meme, where he's got like the Lipton tea, and he's just like sipping it from the
Well, it's a
side.
big banana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can see that,
And we can see, yeah.
and you obviously have a
yeah.
very sensitive gag reflex.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that. And you use a lot of teeth. Oh,
Don't
good
want
Lord.
to don't want to choke.
It's a banana.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't have to rake it
Mhm.
with your teeth like before, like
I
getting
know,
to the
Good Lord.
Jesus Christ! I'll bring it.
Game of Thrones going on in your mouth there. Good Lord.
Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I said the
With an
James.
unhappy, with a terrible, terrible ending. Although I've never seen. I'm going to be honest. I have not watched one. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones, and my first thought was, "Oh, this is sci-fi snuff." That's my first thought, and I said I don't want to watch it anymore.
Sci-fi snuff.
Yeah, because it was like, I mean, it's like there's a lot of sex. There was a lot of sex in season 1. There's a lot of sex, and some of it was kind of violent. So there was a lot of sex. So I went, no, not for me.
I
Right.
guess you didn't read
Like-
the books.
No, I
Surprise
didn't read the
butt
book.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to read.
All I know is that George R. Martin, you are a perv.
I started.
And God
reading-
bless you for just
Yeah, mhm.
letting that freak.
Thank
flag
God
fly.
there was a couple of gay scenes in there, and I'm like, okay, I can watch this.
And that was the majority. Okay, so now I know what you're talking about. The majority of the sex from the first season was gay sex
Mm-hmm.
because it's all centered around their.
Oh, was it?
Well,
those
there was a
secret
lot of
rendezvous.
heterosexual sex too. So, yeah, there was, but the heterosexual sex seemed to be a lot more violent than the.
Well, I started
Mhm.
reading the first book. This was
Mhm.
before the show came out because my friend was like, "You got to read these books; they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're really well written,
Mhm.
but they're just really stressful because literally every chapter something really dramatic and stressful happens."
Mhm.
And I got to like
Mm-hmm.
10 chapters in, and I was like, I just can't deal with this anymore. I mean, like the 4th chapter, this kid is pushed off the tower.
Mhm.
Rand is pushed off the tower.
Mhm.
And every chapter, something really, really bad happens,
Mhm.
and it's just like I don't want to read this. And so I'm
Mhm.
getting stressed out.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can imagine the fans of the show who were stressed out every time one of their favorite characters got killed.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right, or hashtag like a whole family of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna throw this out here because I always thought that this is kind of funny and kind of weird. We have yet another Republican senator. I think he was from Tennessee or maybe Kentucky. I have to look it up. Sorry, everyone. I read the story earlier in the week. Who, 59, happily married with kids, got caught on Grindr
Oh shit!
trying to pick up younger dudes.
Oh, so that his wife knew about it,
No, his wife did not.
so that
know
he
about
wasn't
it.
so happily married.
No, they weren't that happily married. Yeah, his wife did. So he had to resign, which I'm like, okay. So here we go. So you did all the anti-LGBTQ stuff
Right.
like you
Well,
normally,
he does that as like a cover.
yeah, like you normally do.
Well, it's so Psych
And I'm
101.
like, you're 59 years old, and you're using Grindr, really? Grindr is owned by the Chinese. They have all your information. Don't do that.
Oh Lord.
But not
I mean-
do that.
But you're a
Why
public,
would you-
you're a public official.
So
like,
how did he get found out?
Oh, you know what? I didn't get. Well, I got far enough into the story that I
snub
don't
trick.
probably snubbed the trick.
A bait boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or he
Someone
probably got,
that the Democratic
because I've
Party
read,
like sicked on.
I've read about people they've done it in the office, got caught in the office, they got caught here, they got caught there. I'm like, Grindr, really?
And that's just stupid.
You're more of a growler. You should have been using Growler.
You should have been
Would've
using
more
Snapchat.
No
discreet.
senator is gonna be using Growler.
I mean, you need
Why?
to be more
They're-
discreet.
Chris Christie would use Growler.
Ew.
I would
I
hope.
think they would all use Grinder. I mean, they
Why
want
would
those
you-
the young boys.
Yeah, but nobody. All you see on Grindr is no fats, no femmes.
Mm-hmm.
So why would Chris Christie use Grindr? I mean, maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know.
On your part?
I'm the chubby
Is
chaser
that
at the
still
table.
not prevalent on Grinder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Oh, Grindr.
I tried to get back on Grinder, and it just was not my scene.
No.
I'm definitely-
It has definitely gotten more diluted
It is.
because
It's too boyish.
the
It's
right
too,
the busty queens have kind of like said fuck you, we don't give a shit if you're no fats, no femmes.
Mhm.
We're gonna occupy this space too because not enough people use Growler. We're not getting laid, so we're gonna get on Grindr.
Not enough people are using Growler. I'm having a great time on Growler. Are you serious?
Yeah, but it's not your ability to filter, your ability to see pictures, your ability to send pictures. Growlr is way more glitchy.
Yeah, it is.
And because of Grindr being as huge a hit as it was when it first came out, the funding
Scruff
that
has the best interface right now.
I do think Scruff is.
Scruff's new interface is really nice.
It's really
it's nice, but nobody uses it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really get a lot of.
I
get a lot of messages on Scruff.
Never get any on Scruff.
I get a lot of messages on Scruff, which is going to disappoint a lot of guys because I no longer have the beard. So that might be a little.
Oh shit! You need to update your.
Yeah,
picture.
I'm gonna have to update the picture because
You're like
I know people are like,
right, Choco Otter.
Yeah, because I'm like I don't have the beard anymore.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I'm not an otter. Aren't otters usually shorter? Aren't they shorter bearded?
No.
guys?
I don't know what Joe
It's just you're moderately hairy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any kind of a thick build,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a relatively slender or average build,
Mm-hmm.
which is
I
very
have a dad
otter.
bod. I have a dad bod. I admit.
I won't say you even have a dad bod, really.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
I got
that
a little
it's-
bit of a belly, but it's not bad.
right. I mean, it's
Mhm.
but it's definitely otter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and most guys are like, "Oh, you have a nice body," and I'm like, "Really? I got a little." No, you have actually a nice
Guys
body.
like bellies.
Yeah. Well, I don't. The problem is that I've never had a chest, and when I was super skinny, I mean, I'm completely flat. I mean, completely flat. I mean, it was just two nipples, and that's it. You look at me and you went, "Oh God, what's going on there?" But
Right?
as,
just come
as
from
I got a
cutting
little
some
older,
glass.
Kind of.
and I did start working out for a while,
That's just
and it started to form, but it never really came into
My pectorals never really.
My pecs actually formed more when they're not big, but when I got fat, like some fat collected there.
Mhm.
Those aren't pecs though; those are boobs.
Mhm.
I think.
Well, pecs
Mhm.
/ boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pectoral
Right. Technically,
refers to the muscle
technically
group.
you're correct.
You have bitch tits. No, but I would give you that. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And for me, like, I don't know what it is about the base of my rib cage, but it sticks out too much. So like the top two cans in my 6-pack were always protruded more than my pecs did.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was impossible to look like I had that black washboard stomach because this part of it was just. I mean, that's where my sternum is. There's nothing I could do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be like one of those boys who says, "Oh, I've got thick bones."
Mm-hmm. But can we talk about the fact that why is this a thing with Republican senators to get caught on these sites, and why is it always Republicans? Senators, at least Democrats, if they're going to go on a Grindr, they're like, "Hey, I'm gay," so there we go. But
Because Republicans are cheap. And they don't pay a madam to set them up with quiet boys who get paid a shit ton of money to keep their damn mouths shut.
Are they really?
And Democrats-
are they paying
Is that what
for
it
this
is?
on Grindr?
No, they're not. That's the problem. When you pay them, they don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never seen Scandal?
Yeah, that is true. Y'all just gone ahead and pay them
The
because
Democrats,
everybody
they
on
have this
Grindr-
madam, this underlord of the
But can I say
the boy
this?
prostitution ring in D.C.
I've never. I'm going to be honest. I've never been on Grindr because I always thought, "Oh, Grindr, that's for the."
You've never been on Grindr?
No, I've always thought, "Oh, Grindr, that's for the kids." I'm not going to worry about Grindr. So I've never been on Grindr. I've always been on Growlr or Scruff. So I've never been on Grindr. Even when it first came out, I'm like, "No, that's for the kids. I'm not going to worry about that." So the thing is that this man is 59 years old, and I know that there are how many hits could he possibly? And he wasn't even that attractive. If he was attractive, that's one thing. It wasn't. And oh God, when you say things like that you can get in trouble. He's not attractive, and I can say that simply because
Right, but
Come
when
on
you
now.
put D.L. Generous with a money sign instead of an S in it, all these little broke boys who live in D.C., like cost of living in D.C. is insane. So like when you put that out there and you kind of flash
I don't know if it's
the
insane.
possibility
It's not like New York or San Francisco.
for living area,
Is it?
absolutely. Washington D.C. You should when you drive through those row houses, they're like half the size that they are in San Francisco.
And I kind of have one more question. Why are we? I don't care what app you're on, but why are we still doing the no pictures thing?
Because you're a cabinet member.
Why
and-
are we still? Why would you send someone a message when you have no picture and you expect them to go, oh, let's just do this, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what you look like. I love a surprise.
The very first thing you're taught as a kid is like, don't put that in your mouth and don't talk to strangers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't understand these people that say more like, no pic, no chat. I feel like that's kind of like obvious. Like, I'm just not going to respond to you if you don't have a picture.
Yeah, exactly, because I don't know what you look like. I don't know who
Right.
you are. You're asking me how big my dick is, but you...
Yeah, you haven't even shown me your fucking face yet.
But I'm like, are you serious? I have no... Oh, we're eating gummy bears. I'm sorry.
We are eating gummy.
Mm-hmm.
We are eating gummy bears.
But you're asking me for my dick size, and you haven't even shown me a picture yet?
Oh,
Bitch, no.
I love that because they're like, "Hey, you got any more pics?" I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're like, "Well, go ahead and send them." I was like, "Well, when can I see some of you?" And like, "Oh, we'll send yours first." It's like, "Bitch, there's 4 in my profile. That means you're 4 behind.
Mm-hmm.
Catch up, and then
So,
we'll
okay, but what do you guys
send
do
to
if-
receive."
What do you guys do if they send the picture of their face and they're like just ugly as fuck? Like, what do you do then?
I don't like to say
Ghost.
I don't like to say ugly. What I like to say is that I'm just not attracted to you. That's what come on, we have to do that now. We kind of have to do that.
Well, I don't say you're ugly, no way.
Yeah, exactly. So
I get that a lot.
What?
I get people like, okay, so I chase these pictures, pictureless profiles, and the ones that have no details in them. Like, I chase them and I send them like the most outrageous pictures of myself. Like, I just flood the whole thing with it, and it fascinates me to like whether I'm going to get a response based on like this empty profile or not. It's way more fascinating to me than the ones that actually have like the description and the about me.
And they
But,
say
like,
you're ugly?
they're like, ew, gross. You know, and it comes from like something I might, you know, may or may not be wearing in the photo.
Oh.
And it's like, even if that were the case, like, ew, like, really? Really? And I mean, people are really mean, and people don't understand that, like, I get that probably more than most people do on a regular basis. And it's by my own doing, I fully admit, because I put myself out there like that. But I feel the
You're
safest.
showing them like fetish pictures or something.
Right, exactly. It's a very specific demographic, niche market that I'm looking, you know, and deliberately able to generally pick it out because the pictureless profiles turn out to be the ones who don't show their face because they feel the way they do about those things that they do.
I want to take a sip.
He's going to take a sip, y'all.
Because I want to say this too. And I can say this because I'm the black guy in the group. Dear black men who have faceless profiles, the download thing is over. Y'all let that go. Just come on out of the closet. If you are having a hard time with coming out of the closet, I get that. I completely do.
I'm going to counter you on that.
If you're in a situation where you work, or if you're young and you have to have a home and a place to live,
then you're not old enough to be on this app.
But when you're old enough to be on a app, to me that says that you are an adult who is living on his own.
Right.
And if you are trying to have a secret life on the outside, I don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
I honestly do not. The download thing is done. It's over. It's time for you to move on. Come out the closet and face who you are.
Oh, that's tough for me.
Because this whole and I do get a lot of this from, you know, I get a lot of it from black guys, and you know, I love all guys. I really do, and I don't even think I should have to say that, honestly, because I love dick, so that's all that matters.
Right.
But the thing is that when you are sending me a faceless profile, to me, it's telling me that you are ashamed of who you are, and I don't want to really do that.
Right.
Maybe they don't want to get.
The nonsensical thing about that is anyone they're worried about them seeing them on that app because they're worried they're straight. Like, what are they doing on that app?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mutually destructive situation. Like, you have the same ammunition on them as they have on you at that point.
Exactly.
It's like meeting somebody you know from work who, like, who's not gay, you know, quote unquote, and they think you're not gay, but suddenly you guys bump into each other in the restroom at the gay bar, and like, they're doing the same thing there as you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither one of you is going to talk about this Monday morning.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no real need for you to still doing the hiding thing because
Right, unless you're married and have a wife.
unless you're married, and even then, I'm not doing that. I'm not hurting another person because you were doing that. I'm not
torn
going to get
on those
involved.
ones.
I'm not getting involved because I've been involved
What
in
if
that
they actually
before.
required you to have a face pic? That would be cool.
Right.
So you just couldn't. Not
Yeah,
have
exactly. I
Yeah.
would.
Well, that Tinder requires it.
one. Right.
You
And
you have to have a Facebook.
Is Tinder
account.
still a thing?
Yeah, Tinder's a thing.
I actually prefer Tinder.
But isn't Tinder for heterosexuals?
No.
No, it's for.
No,
everybody.
it came out. It was launched as the straight answer to Grindr. So it's spelled. Is it?
Yes.
Hey, what happened to that one where you could select? Do I want? There was one where it's like, do I want Mr. Right Now or Mr.
I think that's from a movie.
No, I know, but there's no. You could select. Am I looking for Right Now or am I looking for Mr.
Right.
Oh, those are the
Right.
ones that usually pop up when
I
you.
thought that was a
watch
Drew
porn.
Barrymore
Those are
movie.
like.
It is, but they had one where
Yeah.
you could switch what you're doing.
But you have to.
Okay.
But you have to pay for those.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Or like
because I've
you're
gone
looking
to the
for a
sites
filter.
to look, and yeah, you have to pay a monthly fee for
Some
those.
of them, yeah. I probably I don't know if I'm a member of more of those than anyone else at this table.
I'm not a paying member?
Oh, I'm not a paying member of anything. But just like the gay singles, or classifieds
I'm
hookup
not
apps. And honestly, I will say that I have profiles on most of them out of kind of necessity. It sounds stupid to say necessity, but like there was a point in my life where like every single new one of these things, my ex was on, pretending he was single and like, and whatnot. So like I have a profile and started a profile, and talked to him and, he doesn't know it's me and kind of deal. I'm so glad that Craigslist personal ads is gone.
No,
I'm
so upset by that.
The misconnections
I'm
are still
so upset
the
by that.
misconnections are still
I
there.
enjoyed
No,
those.
I know, but I feel like it's a whole segment of the internet that was shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, be angry about them moderating Tumblr then, because that's real horse shit.
Fuck Tumblr.
I never used Tumblr anyway.
Craigslist. If you wanted to see some real, or hear about some real funky shit, and see the real dirty gritty of the internet, all you had to do was get on Craigslist, and you could.
Well,
And for gays, it was the best.
Yes.
It was the best way to meet down low heterosexual men.
Oh really?
Oh yeah,
Yes, it was.
yeah, because it was
yeah.
not profile based.
Yeah.
And
There was no maintenance. There was no
and
picture.
before there was
you know,
hookup apps, and before there was like gay.com or anything, there was Craigslist.
there was
Right.
Craigslist, and Craigslist.
no
was the
transfer of
best.
personal information.
Yep.
It went through a
You could
hyperlink
find
through
drugs on there.
Craigslist.
You could find everything on there. Now, you can't.
Now it's the dark web.
Yeah, yeah. I loved Craigslist. I just love reading the articles.
I love
feel
the
like a travesty
misconnections.
with that- with that.
I love it, and I don't understand Craigslist doing that because
No,
it's like really
the internet.
The
It's
federal
internet.
government.
Federal government.
Yeah, the federal government.
right. But Craigslist gave into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have
The federal government
Because
had
it
no
wasn't
right
worth
to.
because supposedly there was
Well,
a lot of
Backpage got arrested or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got shut
Yeah.
down.
yeah. Well, a lot of supposedly there was a lot of sex trafficking going through
Right.
those things and everything.
Because
else.
you're not able to monitor these.
Yeah, 'cause
because
you're
there's
not-
no profiles, there's
Yeah,
no personal
exactly.
information. You're getting no details from anybody. No accountability is
But that's
able to
part
be
of the
had.
fun of it. Like you should, I feel like you should be able to.
I feel like that you should be at the table saying this.
I think that's part
Did
of
you
the fun
turn?
of it.
Oh, did you turn on the
The
thing?
Brita filter.
The Brita filter. When
Yeah,
you,
of course
okay.
I did.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. So.
He's like, oh shit, I can't.
Oh shit! I'm drinking Houston Tap. I'm sorry.
He's drinking that
I
Montrose
did
tap,
it.
y'all.
Yeah, I was really sad when that. Just
I was like, oh my god.
like the internet just is not.
It was
as
such a
exciting
relief
about
to
it.
me, though, guys.
I don't know why.
Because when you find out, like, your boyfriend, like, posted an ad, like, you get to work, and you get, like, an email on accident in response to his personal ad he just posted on Craigslist talking about the fact, like, oh, my boyfriend just left for work, I want to get, loaded up with, as much as I could take until I can't take anymore. It's horrifying.
I once got a lunchtime. I once got a lunchtime blowjob. This guy was literally on his lunch break from work. Put out a Craigslist. I said, "Let's see what this is all about." He came over. He gave me a blowjob, and he was back at work right on time.
You know,
and I went,
when I'm in a hurry, I say I'm on my lunch break.
I was on jury duty in LA, and I went around. I got on Grindr, and I went and had sex and came back all within the time.
Yep, exactly.
When I'm not sure about one,
hot too.
When I'm not sure about one, I'm like, "Are you okay with a quickie?" Because then you sound like endearing if it ends up like working out and it's better than you expected it to be. Because you're like, "Oh no, it's okay. You're worth it," et cetera, et cetera. You seem, you know, like you're indulging them. You're doing them a favor by spending more time with them.
Like an hour.
Oh no, I just mean like when I'm not sure about them, I tell them I'm like, "Oh, I can come by on my lunch break, but I have to leave like within 30 minutes."
An hour sounds reasonable. I mean, it's
but I don't like jump in and jump out. Like I like.
Oh no, I do that
I like to spend time and get to know the person.
It's like a rescue call.
So you spent 30 minutes getting to know, and then 30 minutes having sex.
Well, my having sex was not like intercourse. But no,
it's like the opposite definition of any man ever in the world.
Yeah, I know.
Because their definition of sex is like
probably like
just
finger fucking or like oral or something. Foreplay. It's probably like 30 minutes of foreplay.
All right.
I'd say.
I mean, sex is sex. I've
sexual activity.
Sexual activity is sexual activity. I have been with guys who that's all they wanted to do, and I went, okay, that's fine. I don't do anal. I only like to do this. And I'm like, that's fine. I can do that, and we can cuddle afterwards if you want.
Right.
Whatever. I enjoy it. It's fine.
Right.
But I have to admit, and I will be the person to admit, I still wanted to do anal. So, everybody has their thing, and I think you should enjoy it. I think you should enjoy whatever your thing is.
I ran into that recently because I had somebody ask me, like, are you disappointed that we didn't actually have sex? And like, I ended up having like legitimately the best time I have had, like,
and if you got
meeting a stranger, like, and I said to him, like, we could have not gotten to the BJ portion, and I would have had a fantastic time. Like, everything I said about, having a good time would still stand and be true.
The thing for me is when people go when you first talk and they're like, are you top or bottom? They're so focused on that. Like, if you skip the foreplay and just go straight to that, then that's like watching a 2-hour movie and you're just watching the climax. And you really don't, you have no build up to it. So it's less emotionally engaging. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I mean, even for those of us who have casual sex, I like to be able to, I like a little bit of chat, a little bit of kissing, a little bit of, getting to know the feel of what,
exactly,
like feel of where my hands are going to go, what you're going to do.
Should I try pulling your hair?
Have a little discussion on what you want, what I want.
Right.
That
I like to chat a little bit first just to get a feel for who this person is.
Yeah, exactly. Because I want to make sure, one, that you're not carrying any weapons.
Yeah.
And two, that you're not going to ask me to do something weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to do that.
But you know what I don't like? One of my pet peeves is I like them to be clothed when I come in. I don't like to come in and see someone like in their underwear or something. I find that's...
I thought that was... I don't know. A t-shirt and underwear,
Really?
I have walked to the front door and
depends on what time of day it is.
Yeah.
And if it's nighttime and they're like in bed.
I like to take the clothes off.
Okay.
It's part of the process.
But, t-shirt and underwear, I'm okay with it. If you're completely naked,
okay, t-shirt.
If it's morning time or nighttime, like, and they're like just waking up or like going to bed.
And underwear's okay. Yeah. But you want to kind of see what the body looks like under clothes first, and then you want to take the clothes off and have an unveiling. And if you're completely naked, then you don't get any of that.
Yeah, that's true. If you show up at the door completely naked, I'm like,
Yeah, you already kind of...
You kind of took the romance out of it.
Right.
I realize that it's just
it's
casual.
out of context.
I feel like that you just want me to go straight in.
And that's where I draw the thing. Like, I've never had casual or anonymous sex in my life ever. Like, as many people as I've slept with, like 500 and up, people that I've slept with, I've never had.
What do you mean?
So you've had
anonymous. I've never had
relationships.
Or gave them that weight in their moment. It was never like, I'm here to fuck you. I don't give a shit, what your favorite color is. It's like, you spend that time.
You've spent the time to
some
have
intimacy,
an emotional connection with them.
and treat them like a person versus like a pocket pussy.
That's still that doesn't mean it's not casual sex.
Yeah.
I get what you
I find it a slightly abusive when you tell me that, oh, I'm just here for your dick. I don't really care about anything else.
Right.
Or when
And
they
it's
act
like,
entitled
okay, well,
to it.
then you and my dick say hello, and I'm going to tell you goodbye. And, my dick is part of me, so.
Right?
Can't have it.
You do the windmill like, this is how he waves by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
But no, I mean, there are guys who like, and I going back to the experience I had that I was talking about before, where like he felt like I was disappointed when we didn't have sex. Is like, have you really had experiences with men where like they guilt tripped you or like made you feel like you didn't do or what you should have done, or like they were entitled to have sex with you because they drove to meet you, or because like what? Like I cannot fathom ever like. One, if you have the expectation that, like, I owe you sex because you came over, if I'm not feeling it, and, like, you start acting like a dickhead, like I should feel bad about that, you have, like, a very limited amount of time to, like, gather your belongings and get the fuck out of my place.
well, I mean...
Because, like, this is my body. I don't care if you're fucking a half an inch away from sticking it in me. If I'm not feeling it and I get up, like, that doesn't make me a dickhead. It might call me a tease, and even then, like, if it's just not feeling right,
So
it's
have
a
you guys
protection
just
thing.
broken it off when you're getting in the middle of doing something?
I don't think I've had that experience.
I've definitely had situations where I'm like, I'm not feeling this, and I really don't care to continue with it.
I think we had a conversation one time about that.
Did we?
We did when we went to whatchamacallit for the first time, Cozy Corner.
Oh, yeah. That was my last trick,
Okay,
actually.
we're
That's
still
funny.
on the show, so.
Well, I'm just verifying that Chris has actually stopped it in the
Yeah.
act.
My last trick, I stopped in the middle because I just was not feeling it.
Yeah.
It was a guy that I walked over, and he had all his clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was really into kissing, but his idea of kissing was he would just open his mouth and stick his tongue in yours. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is not kissing to me.
I know. I have had.
Ring,
I
ring,
have
ring.
not even gotten to that part. If your kissing skills are horrible, we are done.
But some people think their kissing skills are great, and they're really bad.
Oh my god, I know, right?
Okay.
It's like, and I think about that, and I'm like, I learned everything I know about kissing from movies. What did you say? We missed a word from our sponsor?
Okay, so you want to?
Okay, we're stopping now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're taking a break.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back
Buy
for
these
commercials. Buy some products. I don't know what products we were talking about, but yay, we're back. Hey, in case you were wondering, if you've been listening to our show for a while, where our fourth person is, well, he's no longer a part of the show. Randy has decided that he would like to work on some other projects and everything else. So he has officially resigned from the show. Now, I don't hold any ill will, and actually I'm going to probably help him produce his other show if he wants to do that.
Definitely, no kind of falling out.
No,
We wish him the best.
we wish him all love in the world.
I miss you, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
You left me with these people.
We left you. Well, you're stuck with what you're stuck with.
I know.
We have no more Becky with the good hair.
We have no more Becky with the good hair. I'm sorry. There's no more hateration or holleration in this dancery. Okay? To quote a great singer from the past. Who, by the way,
Oh my!
who
you
by
did
the
not say
way
from-
was fantastic in the Umbrella Academy. I really enjoyed.
She's
Mary
a fantastic.
J.
She's a fantastic actress.
Yeah,
actually.
I really did enjoy Mary J. and
I
her.
thought I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy the Umbrella
No,
Academy?
I didn't think she brought it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought her performance was a little lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to steer us back into the lead in there and give Randy his due and say that we wish you all the best, Randy,
Yes.
in all of your projects and life's pursuits, and
Which actually kind of sucks. I just put all the new stuff up for the show, and now I got to redo it all over again.
Do you have any idea how many times I had to draw that fucking logo?
I know. So from this day forward, I guess we're the Texas tea.
We're switching up the brew, y'all.
We're switching up the brew.
There's only 4 tea bags in the pitcher.
Well, officially, there's only 3 tea bags in the picture.
That's what I said.
You said 4.
Did I say 4?
You said 4.
Or no longer 4?
There are no longer 4 tea bags. There's only 3 tea bags in the picture. You're still gonna get some good, delicious iced tea, but maybe just a little less intense. I guess
Less peach.
Little less peach.
Little less peach.
Little less Georgia peach. So
Yeah.
So we just wanted to give that shout out.
Mwah,
Randy,
mwah,
do your
mwah,
thing.
mwah. We miss you. Much love, much love,
much love, and much success in your new adventures, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And if y'all thought that we were going to talk bad or ill about Miss Randy, y'all got
Oh,
the wrong
you gays are drama queens, man. I'm sure everyone was ready to hear all the gory details. I'm sure, but we don't roll like that, bitches.
And they're really
We're family. We are family.
What is there bad to say, really?
There's nothing absolutely bad to say. So
Nothing.
Although there's some words I can say. I'm happy about that. but-
What words would you use? I'm curious.
Jesus Christ.
Where?
Oh, I can say penis now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised that wasn't the first word out of your mouth. It was the first word out of your mouth.
I played that last week.
We did that last week.
Bless her phonetic sensitivity.
Oh my goodness.
She will be missed.
She will be missed.
And we are not filling that spot, y'all. Because
There's an empty chair right in front of me.
that heel cannot be filled.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel Randy's presence right here.
She left a hole. A big gaping hole.
A large,
That needs to be filled.
large gaping hole that desperately
With
needs to be
A
filled.
bunch of semen.
That we're just going to have to pick up the extra weight and go triple on to
Yep, exactly. Well, there will always be there'll always be a guest host. There will always
We're gonna do
be
that.
somebody. We'll have
Exactly.
Carlos on every now and
Well,
then.
we'll still have arguments, too.
But-
Yeah, we'll still have Carlos on. We'll still have Miss White on. We'll still have a few others on.
Absolutely.
Just to add some spice.
Exactly. But,
Here and there, but,
Brandy left her mushroom stamp on the show.
So.
The end of an era.
So.
I mean, it was you and Randy for a long time.
When we first,
You guys started the show.
we started the show together,
Mm-hmm.
and
I mean, how many months did you have, just the two of you?
actually, we did it for
49 episodes.
49 episodes. We did it for 49 episodes.
Yeah.
And then I met these two.
And then
queens.
Pinky was born.
And then I met these two queens. One of which asked me to get him some weed.
Oh, Lord.
Who's that?
I'm not gonna say.
That was me.
I was like, wait, I didn't ask for weed.
No, I did.
And you
No,
were
I
very
didn't
convincing
ask
there,
you for
though.
weed.
You asked me for a weed
I made a
conviction.
broadcast global message to everyone on Growler. I need weed.
And then I saw, oh,
Hey, I'm from California. Okay, it's free over. It's legal over there.
yes, I get that.
Not free.
Not free.
Not free, but
There's
just
going to be like a mass exodus.
I know.
And
I know.
like, what? They're giving it away?
Well, actually, there is a mass exodus going on, but in the opposite direction, you've got people coming from California and New York. It's too expensive to live there.
Well, right, because they find out, like, what? You could have an apartment all by yourself?
Yeah.
With, like, your own room? And, like, your own bed?
But then the weed is illegal.
The weed is illegal.
For now.
Everything comes
For
at a
now.
price.
But actually, in Harris County, you can just get caught with it, and they just fine
It is no longer
Yeah,
a
it's-
jailable offense,
Yeah,
right?
it's not a
It is a ticketable offense, so you're no longer
Yes.
getting
They will
incarcerated.
They will
right,
remove it from your possession.
right, and it's below a certain amount.
I think it's an ounce.
I wasn't going to go
Yeah,
there,
I think
but
it's an ounce.
just in case if you're carrying, divide it up into
Don't
little
carry
ounce
more than
baggies.
Because outside of in where I grew up, in Brown Rock, you can still get arrested for it. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, you're filling up jail cells with people who are literally just doing weed.
Smoking
Yeah.
a fucking
This
plant.
is literally
They're just doing weed. Good lord.
right,
Yeah.
but that's the problem right there. Is that's pretty much all those people are doing. The people caught with it are literally only doing weed. They're not being productive members of society.
Well,
Otherwise, you don't get caught smoking weed. You're too busy adulting, and you happen to own your own house or have your own apartment, and you're smoking on your
Right.
patio where the police can't come and bother you. But when you're just hanging out at Walmart in the parking lot because your mom said that your friends can't smoke
I
dope
would
in the
do
basement
something
anymore,
like that.
right? Exactly. Yeah, that explains why Chris is so familiar with the fact that you just get a ticket.
I know. And he does seem to love Walmart a lot. I mean,
I love Walmart.
He loves the Walmart.
Oh no, you got caught at Target. That's why you. That's why you hate Target. That's why you hate Target.
What, masturbating?
No, smoking weed.
No, I did not get caught anywhere smoking.
Were you masturbating at Target?
No, I do not masturbate at Target. I was just making a joke.
Okay.
I don't.
Have you guys ever done that? Like masturbate in traffic?
Of course, but not in traffic. Like when I'm on a road trip.
No, I just never felt the need to.
Oh, no,
I'm always
I drive too fast when the car's moving.
I'm always the passenger anyway, so it's like I'm not just gonna whip it out David or something.
If I'm on a road trip by myself, yes, and it's like it's like fucking days.
Can you imagine David just going, Joe,
if you're on a road trip,
what the hell are you doing?
Is it still a road trip if you're by yourself?
We're on a road trip. Why not?
Of course.
You're just
Is it not a road trip if there's just one person?
I don't know. I feel like that's more of like a drive somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like that's a drive.
No, it's
a road trip. Feels like a road trip feels like it's you and a couple of buddies,
or me and myself.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a road trip with
you. That seems like a long
and Mr.
drive.
Michigan. Exactly.
That seems like a long drive. You just went out. Well, I went out for a drive.
Okay, well, you guys go out for your long drives. I'm gonna go on a road trip by myself. Okay. You can call it whatever the fuck you want.
Hey, fancy
that.
So
I'm going to be masturbating and smoking weed while I'm doing it.
Okay. And I'm going to have somebody else doing it for me while I drive. So there's that.
Well, I've had that too.
What if I like pop out of the back seat or something like that?
Well, that would freak me out.
Yeah, right. As we all get,
it's me.
Right. As we all get our keys to the studio in case Joel's not here on time. You know,
Speaking of road trips, I thought we were supposed to do I thought we were going to start doing field trips.
I think we should do that.
What happened to that?
I think we're going to do it.
Well, we better do it soon because summer's almost over. Although I'd rather do it in the fall.
I was going to say when the fuck there's no fucking winter. It's Houston.
Yeah, there's no winter.
So
I mean, as long as we migrate like with the seasons, we're good.
I want to do it when it's like 80 degrees outside, not when it's like 9,000 degrees.
Oh no, absolutely.
Being miserable the entire time.
Slash tag. I would much rather go in like
slash tag.
Wow. That's my new thing. Like,
wondering if
I invented that.
I like that.
Halfway
what is it?
It's like when the millennials are like, or the Gen whatever they are. They do like the hashtag me though.
I got that, but what's the slash tag?
But when you do like this or that, where you do like a slash.
Oh.
So like it's like a conjunction of the two.
Slash tag.
Slash tag this though, really.
How would I use it in a sentence?
Like I just did.
Well, how would I use it in a sentence?
Well, if you're writing the sentence, well, yeah.
When you oppose,
I want to go on a road trip. Slash tag.
Not really.
Not really.
Because you have to be opposing that or like something other than that.
How is that a tag though?
It's just poking fun at them and their hashtag BS. Or like hash brown selfie. Do you ever see that commercial?
Hashtag not.
Exactly.
Oh shit!
Is it fucking cute?
I got it.
It's applicable.
It only took him a few minutes, but he finally got it.
I'm not the.
It can be done.
I'm not the fastest guy in the world.
Oh my god, that's so freaking funny.
Obviously not because you're smoking weed and masturbating in the car. So yeah,
right.
Actually, I don't smoke weed anymore. I started doing a tincture.
A what?
Tincture.
Is that the stuff that's just at the bottom of the ground?
Because my cardiovascular issues. No, you grind it up, you soak it in like a grain alcohol for a while, and then you just do an eyedropper on your tongue.
Is that where your eyes are looking like?
I haven't done. Are my eyes really red? I haven't done it.
Oh no! You drop it in your mouth, not in your eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you drop it in your eye?
Holy shit!
That sounds awful.
Alcohol in your eye.
THC alcohol in your eye, like
no, that's gonna fucking burn.
Yeah, but then think about once it wears off, you're gonna have a fucking blast, man. You're gonna be so high so fast.
As if you smoke it.
No, but when you put it in your freaking eye, it would be.
Why would you want to put it in your eye?
Whatever.
Okay, so soak it in Visine. I don't know.
Oh my god, my eyes are burning, but I'm super high right now. No,
right? You're like seeing the dragon, like. Slash tag how to make weed into a hallucinogenic.
Slash tag, has it been 13 minutes yet?
I think so.
Slash tag, don't ever do that, anyone.
Slash
Please
tag,
do not.
Slash tag.
Yeah.
Can you slash tag a slash tag?
Slash tag a slash tag.
Yeah. Slash tag, you're it.
So we got 47 seconds left.
Oh.
So, wow, we're actually going to end this show on fucking time.
What can we say in 30 seconds?
What can we say in
I don't
30
know.
seconds? Hey, here's what we can say in 30 seconds. For right now, and it's for right now, send us comments, questions, whatever. Joel and Randy's Texas Tea on Facebook. Joel and Randy's TS1 on Twitter. And the Joel and Randy Show on
You gotta change all
Instagram.
this.
I gotta change all that shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to thank Spreaker for being our podcast host.
Our platform.
Mm-hmm. We'll soon be on Patreon. We're still working out the details for that. So we'll give you more information as that comes. But we will be on Patreon here soon.
With lots of exclusive content for you diehards.
Tier 4, you get to fuck one of us.
I'm not.
Am I right?
I don't want to get paid for that.
Oh, can we get arrested now? Never mind.
No, I mean, because you're the only one on that list of choices. So,
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I figure by the time I get us on the Patreon, our Patreon finally finished, that
Finally.
we'll be super fuckable for everyone.
So that's why you couldn't say all of that in 30 seconds because
Okay.
Super fuckable.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
So we probably went over.
yeah, I'll be the 2 comma tier level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we probably went over. So we're
Bag.
gonna say
The trophy.
So we're gonna end this by saying goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Texas Tea, because that's what we're calling ourselves. Because I can't. Let me tell you something, bitches. I can't handle another name change. So that's it. We'll see you later.
And if you ain't gonna be good at it. Chris is trying to come up with something clever. He'll have it eventually.
Yeah. Next week.
Next week.